That's what it's all about. Creature comforts. That's what we have here. This is a lap of luxury right here. We have many flaws, but one of our biggest flaws happens to be that we can never leave anything alone. You know, sometimes in a stock form, it would just be fine. But man, we always have to have the artistic flair. It drives my wife crazy. We always have to make it look better. And that is the case in this situation right here on Trey's frame. So we are doing what we consider to be one of the best looking step notches in the entire universe. We're gonna brag for a second. The problem with making this beautiful frame is that it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of imagination, and a lot of money. So the way we're doing the frame, we're doing a real nice flowing step notch instead of one of the ugly ones like these. Hopefully that worked, and I showed you a picture of some ugly step notches. But this is going to make it look like it came from the factory this way. Nice flowing movement to it. It's going to look awesome. So if people look at it, pretty much it'll fake that they won't know whether this came from the factory or not. Or that's our intention at this point in time. It may end up looking like garbage when we're all said and done. I don't know. But that being said, the way we have to alter this frame, we basically have to cut the entire back half off. And when you do that, it's very important that you get it back together, flat, square, everything like it's supposed to be. We do a lot of these types of things, usually not to the extent of what we're doing on this, but we do a lot of frames. And forever we've been saying, you know, we need to have a table so that we can build these frames on this table. And this one pretty much pushed us over the edge. So we went and we bought some extremely expensive metal yesterday. Things are out of control. Our politicians need to do a much better job, but don't get me started on that.
It's a whole other episode.
A whole nother episode. We've been waiting to do this for a long time. So we are building a table. It'll be movable so we can remove it. But we're building a table we can set our frames up on top of. We can brace everything. We can cut. We can weld stuff back in. It'll all be secured. Everything will stay square, flat, perpendicular, upside down, inverted, and backwards. And it's gonna be awesome. And we're gonna make it to where we can remove it easily with the forklift, so it doesn't have to stay here all the time. And we're gonna make it so that we can level it no matter what position or where we put it. It's gonna be a job all on its own. We have to build this first before we can start cutting Trey's frame.
Because it's got to be right.
It's got to be dead on. So because it's so expensive, Trey, we're charging you. Okay, so we went and got the material. We're gonna lay it out. We'll show you all of the fun we're gonna have. We're gonna lay out the measurements. We're gonna get this thing nice and square. We're gonna burn it up and weld it up. And we're gonna build ourselves a frame table. Check it out. All right, well, we do not want to have a bunch of oil all over our hands. We are super clean people. So to begin with, we're going to try and clean this up a little bit. They put all that stuff on it to stop it from rusting. We're going to do such a nice job on this. I'm thinking about even getting some spray paint and painting this thing. I don't want it to rust and look ugly. Oh yeah, that's patina. So I'm just doing the top section and then one side, and then we'll flip it over. And do it, you know what I mean? You following me? Clean, finally. Finally, Tommy takes a bath. All right, so our frame width should be about 34 inches. It's pretty common to find frames from about 32 inches wide to 34, 36 inches wide. We're actually going to split our frame rail on this. We do a lot of C10 stuff, so that's what we're going to go with. We're going to split our frame. We're going to put it at 32 inches. Yes. So our in between our rails is going to be 32 inches, and then we're going to go out from there, and we'll have our 4 pieces, and then whatever the length is that ends up being is perfectly fine. If it's 13 foot 2 1/4 inches, that's fine. Anyway, we're going to get it cut. What did I say it was? 32. We're going to cut our 4 cross pieces at 32 inches, and we'll weld this girl up. So what we're going to do is we've marked 3 spots, similar to what we did on another video. We're going to cut our 3 sides. We'll flip it over and then we'll score to make sure in case we have any imperfections we can correct it at that point. So we'll cut 3, flip a lay, mark, cut it. We'll make our measurements on the next one and keep right on the roll.
Try to catch me howling at the moon.
All right, let's see how close we are. It's almost like you've done this before.
Water's up to my chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it. Many men have failed. Well, if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. And I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. Facing all the sleepless nights. Will you find me? Hope you find me. I'll be back home soon. When the sun rises, when the sun we're trying to catch me howling at the moon.
All right, so I'm going to show you real quick. We're getting ready to weld on our first 2 pieces. You'll notice here that we have a line scribed at 1 inch. We're going to hold our cross piece back 1 inch so that we can get a nice penetrating weld across there and this back side. It'll be super strong. We might cap the ends, but probably not. Nobody's going to look at it anyway. We're going to get these tacked all together, and then we will brace it so that it doesn't flex and move on us, and then we're going to weld the heck out of it. Being held back like that 1 inch, it'll give us the ability to really put a nice weld in there. Then we're going to tack the stuff together. We'll lay it all out. We're going to check for square. We're going to cross brace it so it doesn't move when we do our heavy weld, and we're going to weld it up. Now we look right there. You ready? All right, there's the basic rectangle, almost a rectangle. We have some ends on it. We are going to put a tape measure to it and see where we stand as far as square is concerned. Then we're going to reinforce it or brace it so that it doesn't move. And we're going to weldify everything. We're an 1/8 inch on the square. We got to move it to 16. Dead nuts, baby, dead nuts. All right, you see, we have just some scrap pieces. We're just gonna tack those on. We're gonna tack them pretty hard so that those angles don't move.
So now we're building the feet to the frame table, I guess you could call it. So here's our medieval torture device. Anyway, this is going to be all 6 feet of all 6 legs to the welding, or not welding table, the frame table. Anyway, we're going to weld these nuts to the plate. I've already marked it out as to where all the plates go. I will cut them out, make it nice and pretty. So let's go ahead and do that. The nap part of things are done. Then I can go ahead and cut those out. And then these guys get welded to the bottoms of those. So if you notice, I left all these guys super flat, right? When I weld these, I'm just going to do heavy tacks because you don't want to get that nut too hot because it'll damage the nut itself. So there's our welded nuts. I went ahead and took a bolt. All these guys are good except for the center 2. And the reason why I'm doing this now is you don't want to have a trouble once it's welded in there, right? Obviously to have trouble. Just grease this guy up a little bit. It should be fine, but let's make sure this guy wants to play and then we'll cut him out. So here's the theory. There will be a jam nut here, so this nut doesn't actually have to take all the weight. It's pretty much just so you can adjust it. We're good. It's all great. So once I get this out, then we'll go ahead and cut our pieces out, and then probably what I'll do is I'll put the bolts back in there, so that way when we weld these to the legs, you know, we won't have potential BB going in there or something like that. BB, let's get the scroll clamp down. Let's just start cutting some stuff up. Alright guys, there's 4. Yay! Oh man! Alright guys, there's one finished foot. And this goes on the bottom of the tubing. So anyway, there's that. Let's get 5 more done. They're all cut out and beveled and everything. I just have to clean them up a little bit. I'm going to set them all at 0. Anyway, the reason why I'm putting the bolts in is so when I weld it on there, get any BBs or anything in there. That's so smart. Ooh, last one, guys. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is number 6. We'll make sure this is flush and even. All right. Alright guys, so sorry I worked aheady a little bit. It's not finished welded or anything, but you guys remember the feet, right? We did that. And these are welded onto there now. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 legs. We have to put 2 up in the center. And man, I've been trying to fight to try to keep this thing as square as possible.
Alrighty, it is a new morning and we are back on the frame table. It took more than a day because I ended up having to go tear all over Heckenhever, Georgia again. So what we're doing right now, Tommy has the legs welded up. We're going to do some reinforcement on that. We're also building in a mechanism so that we can lift this up with a forklift and make our life a little bit easier. So these guys right here are set up so that we can set it like this, and our forks will be able to go in. Because obviously it's upside down, we'll be able to go in, grab it, it'll hold it, boom. But to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere and the other legs don't go anywhere, we are building these gussets. So these gussets are going like this. So this is going to go here, that's going to go on top, and there's no way in the world that thing will come apart. So here we go. Lots of protective gear. Tommy's gonna make a lot of noise. Thomas, you want to come help me for just a second? You'll probably need some gloves to stop it from burning you. All right. You're good. Thank you. I'll catch you on the flip side. Oh, son of a gun. I just keep on catching it right down the old shoe. All right. We've been feverishly at work. Let me show you a little bit what we've done. So that is our slot to put the forklift forks through. That's our gusset reinforcement. Turned out not too bad. Now all we got to do is all the rest.
That's an awfully big table for cupcakes.
Yep.
All right, so Pete thought ahead, and now they're like receptacles for the forks. Yep. And theoretically, right here, we'll hit the bottom of that cross member. In essence, suspending it. Yay!
Strong. We clean up that up there, lay that thing on, we'll build our stuff. That baby will sit right on top. And we'll be welding right here. Instead of laying on the ground. That's what it's all about. Creature comforts. That's what we have here. This is a lap of luxury right here. We have air conditioning, look at this, wind blowing all the time. We have temperature control. God controls it, we don't.
Right.
We obviously have no issues with water. Floods all the time. Lighting is awesome. It's so bright that it messes up our filming.
See?
Hey, things are great. All right, well, we want to thank you for making it through one more of our videos. This has been a lot of work. We were thinking we could do it in a day. It's always twice as long. We're done, other than some bracketry to be able to clamp things down, but we're not doing that until we have a frame up on here so we can see what we're doing. Anyway, the table is done. A lot of welding, a lot of cutting, a lot of money. But you know what, we got it done. We're also working on a welding table. Well, we'll show you guys that later. This is ready for Trey's frame to go up on. We'll finish up our final bracketry, and we're gonna make ourselves one awesome looking frame. So we want to thank you guys for swinging by and spending some time with us. Hopefully you enjoyed the progress we made. Sometimes you have to stop and take care of business so that you can take care of business on something else. Anyway, we appreciate you guys coming by. Make sure that you give us a like, thumbs up, make a comment, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you get a chance, swing by and check out our web store at www.theoddrodgarage.com. And as always, thanks for watching.